When it comes to camera, there is one thing that most people flex with.
Yo, got the new Galaxy S20 Ultra, 108 megapixel, looking high def. Yeah!
That's right, megapixels. Nowadays, when you want to buy a camera, you tend to look at the amount of megapixels first. Megapixels matter! But do they though? Before we answer that question, let's look at what megapixels are and what they actually do. An image sensor of a camera contains pixels, and those pixels gather information of the image you're trying to take a photo of. They register what colors are available and where they are located in the image. This information altogether creates a photo. For example, a 20.2 megapixel camera contains an image sensor that has over 20 million pixels. This means that you can take photos of about 4,000 by 5,000 pixels. More pixels on your sensor means more pixels on your photos, which translates to a more detailed photo. Just to be clear, we are talking about the resolution here. Let's say you want to send your girl a dick pic. You take a photo that is originally 4,000 by 6,000 pixels, which makes it a photo of 24 megapixels. Just as you're about to send it, you notice that some other girl's panties are on the top right corner of that photo. That's a close one. So you decide to crop the photo. When you crop the photo, you essentially zoom in on the photo. So now you have, let's say, a 3,000 by 4,000 pixel photo, which makes it a 12 megapixel photo. You can still see the details on your captain and his lieutenants. If you send it to her, the average person wouldn't notice that it's a 12 megapixel dick pic because phone screens are too small for that. However, if you want to enlarge and print your photo, that's a whole other ball game. No pun intended. In order to print an A4 size photo, you need at least 10 megapixels. For an A3 size photo, you need at least 17 megapixels. Why? Why you ask? Because otherwise the space between the pixels will become too big. Therefore, the transition between the pixels will be less smooth and your little friend won't look so detailed anymore. Oh, by the way, in a low light situation, a camera with less megapixels will likely produce a better image than a camera with more megapixels. Because there are less megapixels, each pixel has a bigger area, which means each of them can capture more light. If you like to take dick pics at night, this is just a heads up. Again, no pun intended. So, will more megapixels give you a better photo? Not necessarily. There are more things that come into play, like the sensor size, the sensor type, the lens that you use. So before you take that photo, just ask yourself one question. Am I going to print it? If your answer is no, then no, it doesn't really matter. If your answer is yes, then yes, more megapixels are recommended. If you send it to her, the average person wouldn't notice that it's a 12 megapixel dick. No. If you send it to her, the average person wouldn't notice that it's a 12 megapixel dick. Oh my god. Dick pic, 12 megapixel dick pic.